Hill Jr. Today we have the Friday webinar to talk about the annual plan. So as usual, just use the chat feature if you have questions during the presentation. We'll answer those as we. Let's take a look at the agenda. Today we'll talk about the annual basics and the framework, where to access the annual plan, how to complete and submit the annual plan, understanding the general assurances, using the fact sheet fiscal system, as well as any questions. So annual plan basics. The template was released last month. We're on revision 3. So if you go on the website and click on the what's new, pull up that template, you'll notice at the last page of the template, it will show what version you're on, what changes were made for each of the divisions. So we're up to Division 3, and last done 12/17. So you still have a few months to complete the annual plan on August 15th. Must be submitted through the portal, so you must have access to the portal. And the consortia lead submits it and certifies that all members have participated in the process. So if you don't have access to the portal, then you would have to Greg Hill to that portal. If your consortia lead is in the midst of changing, retiring, placing that lead, you'd have to get access and lead. And so the plan this year is a little more big picture, narrative responses to questions. There's tables, but none of the details like we had in past years with objectives, activities, and other things like that that will be due. We're going to have a fiscal system redesign that will be due in the fall, and we're working on them out. It's still in development phase. We'll talk a little bit about that. But the new fiscal system will have more member-based activities and work plan and budget and expenses, whereas now those are at the consortia level, member-based activities. You have one question. Janet asked, are the fact sheets available yet? And yes, they are. But we did have to pull them back. We're revising them because some of the numbers. So we're hoping that those fact sheets will be available next week. So look for that maybe by, I would say, give it till about the 4th of July, and we'll have posted, revised and reposted. All right, so the annual plan framework, basically it's based on the law, the AB 104 legislation, and in the law there's a requirement for a 3-year plan, that long-term vision, and requirements for that long-term vision. You should already have a 3-year plan. You might have amended it to reflect newer information, new data, but that plan is good through 17-18, so good through the program year. And then each year you're required to develop an annual plan based on the 3-year plan, based on the legislation, to come up with strategies for the coming year. So this fiscal system that I was talking about in the prior slide will develop those details by. So the consortium comes up with strategies for the upcoming year, and then the members in the fall, probably like October, November, will come into the fiscal system, put in their budget from the CFAD, strategies from the 10 will already be there, so they'll just checkbox things, say what activities they'll be doing based on those strategies. Periodically, quarter, they'll be hopefully that framework is understandable. Somebody asked about the PowerPoint. There is a PowerPoint posted right there in the box to the right. Moving on. So annual plan access template is on the website, like I said, along with general assurances, the fact sheets, revising. Consortia leads must access the portal via the website to complete the plan. You'll need a password to get in the portal. The portal is limited to 2 access points per consortia, so you only people that have access to the portal. And just to clarify, the portal, the AEBG portal, is not the financial separate system database. It's referred to as the Career Technical 70 office. So that's not the. So here's a kind of what you'll see when you log on to the portal. It'll say click portal log on. You can get there from the front page of the AEBG website, where you can click on this link here, except there's one, so it should be the aebg.o/.edu, and then you would log on with your email, put your password, remember your password. You would got user, you would have to get Greg Hill to limit it to 2 users to the right. Story. So Lucy's saying, will there be more revisions? Challenging to prepare the plan and then to keep doing it. We don't anticipate any, although we've had 3. Hopefully that's the last one. There are no pending revisions, so good news. Make sure when you go in the portal, going through the website, .edu portal. So when you submit your plan, you'll have to go to through the portal, and once you get in the portal, you'll have to submit your reports on the page that click the link for Consortium Annual Plan. So first, the drop-down menu for reports. Click on Submit Reports. You get to submit your reports. You would click on the so you open that up. Not sure if there's a time limit of how long you can open it up. Saves it, but I would make sure you save it when you leave. Have technical questions about. All right, so here's how the annual plan looks. So, and we'll get into this. We have shots and so the first section is an executive summary, plans and goals. Next section is on effectiveness of meeting. Then we get into seamless transition, student acceleration, development, leveraging resources, and finally, again, there's this fiscal management, how are you. Then we have general assurances that you're supposed to certify that all members where in the consortia of the general assurances at the consortia level and general assurances at. So we do have screenshots, but they are kind of small, so we would encourage you to print out the annual plan website. So the first section, and we'll show you what it looks like So first page of the annual plan would look like this. One is goals. So that first question there to 5 is providing an executive summary of your consortium's implementation plan for 17-18. In your summary, please include a narrative justifying how the planned allocations are consistent with 3-year adult ed plan, a clear, concise description versus vision, accomplishes prior year, primary goals for the upcoming year. So basically, this is kind of looking forward, looking back, quick 500-word summary. We will use these summaries in reports. Stakeholders come on to you. They might go to these summaries to get an idea of what you're doing. So please, summaries like you're talking to the legislature or a stakeholder in your community of how you're doing and going, what your 3-year plan's vision is, working on that. So all these kind of encapsulates that executive. Then we get into the detail part. So meeting the needs. So this was a little difficult. We had to make some revisions here because we did want to look backwards and see what you had accomplished as well as looking forward. So the 2 questions here are, what are the primary gaps? How are you meeting the adult ed needs, identifying the please provide the reason for the gaps, services current. We ask a follow-up question, 17-18 strategies are incrementally increase capacity to identify gap areas or help so you must list one. I think we have strategies. These are real big picture strategies. Let's take a look at that screenshot. So for the first question related to what are the primary gaps and needs, adult ed needs. So there is a table that you're supposed to complete, and I think these might be self-populated from the prior year. I mean, I'll refer to Greg on that one. But they'll list the top 5 strategies that gaps in service. Then you will go in and how did you know? What resources did you use to identify these gaps? So did you survey? Did you data? Students or stakeholders? And then the other question that will have, how will you measure effectiveness towards meeting? To include any local indicators plan. You're looking at any other metrics other than the state. Question relates to 17-18. What are the strategies and or help maintain? So going back to the AB 86 objective, I believe it was objective number 4, talked about maintenance effort service levels, which are different than identifying gap areas. So you can explain that. So if you're focused on maintaining service levels, because those service levels were cut in the past, and or if you've also looked at identifying gaps and to increase capacity in those, where you could have a gap. Offered in 06, 07 versus ability, still aren't at that. So a lot of different ways you could go. You're you'll have a lot of fun figuring that. I encourage you to inform us on that and use this as a tool forward on the majority of the funding. Really like to see. Let's move on to the related to annual plan seamless transition. So looking at the graph here, it's kind of a little different chart than the prior section. So seamless transitions, it says explain how consortium members and partners integrating existing programs and services, creating seamless post-secondary education. Please also identify key faced and overcome during the 16-17 program year, your efforts to. So I think Lucy question, if it's a ongoing, how should we? So if you look at these questions, so the first section of this chart is in 16-17, what strategies were planned? So that would be pre-populated. To what extent have these strategies been implemented? So we kind of have a rating. So if these are ongoing, you would be rating on how you did this past year, 17. How well did you do to accomplish what you set out for the year? Even if this is an ongoing project or ongoing strategy, we know that some of these things program you'll always be focused on particular strategy because it's into launching or the so I would when you look at extent of strategies been implemented, just rate it on what you've done in the even if it's ongoing. So if you accomplished what you thought you did for this year, then you would list, fully implement. And then what challenges prevented full implementation? State an idea. Here's your. And then what intervention strategies, if any, are implement or expand on this? So when Lucy asked the question, an ongoing project, the column as well to put. Then last column, if you have state support, what would be most helpful to fully implement? So if there's something that we're not rolling out that you haven't heard about, I would list that in that section so it gives the state an idea, and it also gives you an idea of what things that you figure out what's happening. Okay, so let's see if we have any other questions. Question for Greg about pre-populated. Good, I think Greg's we're going to move to the next slide.